Good evening and welcome to the May 2nd Council meeting. If you'd please stand, Councilman Flores is going to lead us in the flag salute.
Good evening, everybody. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Our first proclamation this evening is National Mental Health Awareness Month of May. I'd like to call up Carrie Franco, Human Services Coordinator for our city, and Keone Cummings, Education Coordinator, National Alliance on Mental Health, Pomona Valley. Good evening. And the proclamation reads, whereas, on behalf of the citizens of Chino, we recognize the month of May 2023 as National Mental Health Awareness Month. Good grief. The City of Chino, Chino Valley Unified School District, and Healthy Chino Coalition recognize that mental health issues can affect all people. Serious mental illnesses are more common than cancer, diabetes, and heart disease, and according to Mental Health America, 50 million American adults and 2.7 million young people are experiencing severe mental depression. Understandings exist about many mental illnesses, and our social culture often wrongly imposes stigma on these conditions. The City of Chino recognizes the importance of addressing both mental and physical health concerns as being essential to everyone's overall health and well-being, and asking for help is a sign of strength and the first step toward achieving mental wellness. The City of Chino offers mental health services to youth, adults, and families, and the City of Chino partners with National Alliance for Mental Illness, or NAMI, Pomona Valley, to provide free support groups to educate, inspire hope, and decrease the stigma surrounding mental health issues. Whereas the City of Chino encourages you to reach out to your support network, a friend, family member, teacher, or counselor, now therefore I, Eunice Emiloa, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim May 2023 as National Mental Health Awareness Month in the City of Chino and encourage each citizen to continue to be compassionate and understanding of the importance that mental health services provide.
Mayor Yaloa, members of the council, thank you so much for acknowledging the importance of mental health awareness through this proclamation. At the Chino Community Center at Chino Human Services, we have counselors providing one-on-one therapy at all the schools in the Chino Valley Unified School District, as well as individual, couples, and family counseling at Carolyn Owens Community Center. If you or someone you know needs support, please reach out. The number is 909-334-3259. It's my pleasure this evening to welcome National Alliance on Mental Illness Education Coordinator Keone Cummings to accept this proclamation, as well as talk a little bit about their services they provide for our community.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, and thank you for this. As was mentioned, I'm the Education Coordinator for NAMI Pomona Valley, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. So I always tell people, therapy and medication is the clinical side. We're more the education and support side, and community advocacy and awareness. So we provide mental health support groups. We have some going on tonight as we speak, actually. We have support groups for family members who are supporting folks with mental illnesses. And then we also have support groups for folks that are living with mental illnesses themselves. We also have education classes. We do work in schools. We have NAMI on campus clubs where high school students can create a mental health awareness club on their campus just to kind of get those conversations started. We have so many different initiatives that we partner with the City of Chino and so many different cities across LA and San Bernardino County. So we are always here. We have a helpline. My number is out there somewhere in the ethers, so please, please, please feel free to reach out. And I just wanted on a personal note to say thank you to the City of Chino for recognizing mental health awareness, just because as I do this in my work professionally, I also have a sibling with a mental health condition, so this is a personal charge for me as well. So to see that cities and communities and people are really starting to recognize the importance of education and awareness and resources, just want to say thank you professionally and personally.
And also, everybody has a pin, a green pin, to recognize Mental Health Awareness Month. So please wear it. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, we will. Okay, now we have a special recognition. This is Chino High School wrestling team. I'd like to call up Coach Alex Angulo and the Chino High School wrestling team. All of you, come on up here. Coach. Coach, you get to come over on this side. You have to protect me from these big guys. Protect you too. Let's see, can you all get in the, nope. Okay, everybody move this way. We want you all to be able to be on TV. Come on, scoot over. Come on, crowd in. Everybody wants a front row seat. The Chino High School wrestling team has had a remarkable season as they won the Bash at the Beach tournament and the back-to-back Mount Baldy League champions. Additionally, individual members of the team achieved outstanding success with 12 CIF qualifiers, 10 CIF placers, 8 master qualifiers, and 3 state qualifiers. These are truly remarkable accomplishments that reflect the team's hard work and dedication. I'd also like to extend a special thank you to you, Coach Alex Angulo, for your leadership and guidance in inspiring these young athletes to achieve their best both on and off the mat. In recognition of their mighty feat, I'd like you to join me in congratulating the Chino High School wrestling team and Coach Alex Angulo for their exceptional achievements. Okay. Now, we have certificates. Okay, Isaiah Mendoza. He's not here. Is he here? Jonathan Madera. Caleb Valenzuela. Daniel Villapando. Matthew Silva. Nathan, how's he pronounced?
Caldwell.
Caldwell. Okay. Nathaniel Gonzalez. Jordan Malo. Evan Gray. Ascension Perez. Aaron Jimenez. He didn't make it. Julia Soria. Nathan Garcia. Did I say that wrong? Ooh, on crutches. Did you hurt him? No. Michael Vasea?
Michael Vasale.
Vasale. Nathan Blanco. Daniel Garibay. And one for you, Alex Angulo. Would you like to say a few words about your team?
Yes. It was a very long season. It was a tough one that didn't have its ups and downs, but the determination and the will of these boys to come together, the leadership of the upperclassmen and those that we had a lot of first-year varsity, first-year high school wrestlers step in, did a great job, and it was really neat to watch the process of them gradually come together. And then I think for them it was a really big learning experience as they saw within themselves what was possible. Many of them right now you could see, they're very active. One, is on recovery. We have a couple guys in from, every sport, football, track, tennis, swimming, you name it. We encourage them to really get the most out of their 4 years, and this is just another example of them doing so. So immensely proud of them. And we're really proud that they're representing Chino, and it's really neat to see it happen. So thank you.
Okay, now they want to take a group photo, so some of you need to come up and kind of get down so that we can get you all in the photo. Kind of squish in. Now you might have to kneel. Tall one's in the back, short one's in the front, right? There, come on, you gotta get in here.
John, you want to get in here? Cover those crutches up.
Hey, give me some Millipede.
Can everybody stay still? Let the parents get the pictures.
Can we get John Miller, the principal, up here as well
Come
for a
on,
photo?
John.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming down this evening. It's such an honor to be able to recognize you guys. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Alex. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's so nice to be able to recognize when our young people do good things. Okay, next is our 2022 Planning Commission Awards. I'd like to call up Planning Commission Vice Chair Jimmy Alexandris and the rest of the commissioners that are here this evening. Please come up. Okay, Jimmy?
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the mayor. I have the opportunity to thank you for all the dedication and many years you've given to the city. So thank you for the leadership and the unwavering support you've given our commission. Obviously, the city council, the unwavering support, the vision, the leadership that as a commission we need to do our job. So we appreciate that very much. Thank you. Also, I'd like to thank the city staff. Nick is here. Nick, thank you. Warren, Mike, Rosa, obviously we can't do it without her supporting us and giving us a little push and go for our meetings. Also Andrea, Kim, also. To my left over here, we have our commissioners. We have the great Brandon Blanchard. The great Brandon Blanchard's here. We have the newbie here, Ms. Chavez. And we have Lisa Fraga also. Thank you. Okay. So on the behalf of the Planning Commission today, I will be presenting 3 awards. Each year, the Planning Commission identifies 3 developments that have demonstrated a high degree of excellence. These awards are named after Reva Salter. Reva Salter was an active and well-regarded longtime Chino resident and community leader, and was on the city's Planning Commission for 29 years, from the late 70s to the early 2000s, so she saw quite a bit. The Reva Salter Award recognizes excellence in project planning, design, and development. Joining us today are representatives of these great projects selected by the Planning Commission in the categories of new residential development, new industrial development, and new commercial development. Please join me up front when your project is named. The first award is the Best New Residential Project, which is being given to Monarch at the Preserve. Beautiful award. Would you please come up if there's a representative from Monarch, from the Preserve, from Pulte? No? Mayor, would you like to accept this award? That'd be awesome. I'll let you know a little bit about the development. It was developed by Pulte. Monarch at the Preserve is a recipient of the 2022 Best New Residential Award. It was a 76-unit development, offers a mix of 2-story detached single-family homes ranging from 2 to 2,200 square feet with a private yard and landscape facades throughout for connectivity. Well-known architecture styles are provided throughout the neighborhood, including Italian, farmhouse, American colonial, and Spanish colonial, all of which are building styles that are encouraged in the Preserve specific plan. Thank you for being here. Okay, thank you. The next award will be the Best Industrial Project, and that will go to Kimball Business Park Phase 2. Anybody here for Kimball Park Phase 2? No? Mayor, would you like to?
Did you forget to invite them?
I forgot. I think they thought the meeting was at 7. It's 6. Yeah, shucks, right? But everyone else showed up in the right time. Thank you. Let's let you know a little bit about this project. This year's recipient for 2022 Best New Industrial Award goes to Orbis Real Estate Partner for the design and building of Kimball Business Park Phase 2, located on the north side of Kimball Avenue between Flight and Hellman Avenues. The 10 buildings business park contains a variety of office and light industrial uses, with buildings ranging in size from 6 to 12,000 square feet. The buildings complement the high-quality design treatment of the other new buildings surrounding the area. The concrete tilt-up design includes the extensive use of neutral tan, brown paint colors, decorative scores, private security yards, and outdoor employee break areas. There are also metal awnings over all entrances and windows. Glazing are also used throughout. As I think the mayor's spoken before, Chino's almost like we have an incubator. So we have buildings, we start with small businesses and they want to grow, and they have all sorts of bigger buildings to develop into. So, yes, Chino, the next Silicon Valley. Yes. And the last award, and I believe we have somebody here for this, I hope so. The award for Best Commercial Project goes to the McCullough Center Phase 4 Commercial Building. Yes, thank you. This award goes to David Fruing of U.S. Bowling Corporation, which designed and built the McCullough Center, located on the east side of Central Avenue, north of Schaefer Avenue. The 13,500 square foot building was built to be able to accommodate any type of office or commercial business with a variety of commercial uses. The building's design complements the existing McCullough Center while upgrading the features to maintain its own sense of identity, especially regarding the stone treatment, prominent tower features, and paint and color palette. Thank you for being here. Would you like to say a few words?
No, this is the difference between a family developer and institutional developer. We show up for these type of things.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Hey, thank you for everybody.
Thank you for being here. I knew you'd be here.
I did tell you that I would not disappoint you.
Okay. And on the behalf of the Planning Commission and the City of Chino, we would like to thank these developers or developer that's here in front of us. We appreciate you for enhancing our city by bringing these new projects from concept to reality. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you guys for being here. Okay. Next, we have Business of the Month, May 2023, R&L Feed. I'd like to call up Alicia Vandermeer McCullough. Alicia, join me, please. At one time, businesses like this were located throughout the city and now have become a specialty store. That being said, these types of businesses are still considered special in the city of Chino. For the month of May 2023, we'd like to recognize R&L Feed as our Business of the Month. R&L Feed has been supplying livestock feed and pet supplies to the Chino Valley for the past 38 years. His family-owned business is the epitome of Chino and the agricultural community for which it's so proud. 3 generations of family members proudly work at R&L Feed. This Chino icon is consistently noted for its quality feed and hay and feed, and the polite and helpful staff that go above and beyond to take care of their customers. This Chino business is part of the fabric of the community and gives back to local organizations and its residents. On an annual basis, R&L sponsors the California High School Rodeo Association, District 8. In addition, they contribute to Chino Hills Softball, who took first place in 2009. Over the years, R&L has also found ways to support the Chino Valley Fire District because of all they do for our city. Being a small business in a close-knit town means working together. R&L Feed values the relationships within the community and understands that by helping one another, all businesses are successful. Whether it's referring a local mechanic, giving a shout-out to O.F. Wolfenbarger and Billy's Egg Farm, or even recommending another feed store, R&L are always looking to provide the best possible experience to their customers and fellow businesses. Having operated in the Chino Valley for nearly 40 years, it has always made sense for R&L to reside in Chino. To this day, farms and family farms still operate in and around R&L Feed, so access to feed and hay or a quick delivery are crucial to sustaining the farming lifestyle. Please join me in congratulating R&L Feed for not only providing quality products, but for continuing to support our agrarian roots in the city of Chino and for being our May 2023 Business of the Month recipient. Please accept this plaque on behalf of our council. Now, I understand you have good news for us.
Yes.
We've all been very afraid that we were going to lose R&L Feed. So.
Okay. Hello. First of all, thank you very much, everyone. And yes, we were having to relocate our business that we've been in that same spot right there on East End Avenue and the corner of East End and Francis. So we've been there for like almost 40 years, and we had to relocate. So it's been a very stressful 2 months. So finally, we got a spot. It's going to be going back to where it all began, which is at my grandparents' house. So it's just temporary until we get our own spot. But for the most part, we got it, and we're like really happy because my dad's like, "No way, we're not going to close down." He would not let that happen. So we're able to, keep the business open and keep doing what we do and just, good customer service. So we want to thank everyone for helping us. And I mean, we've had so much support from everyone. It's unbelievable. I didn't realize, how many people were supporting us. But we thank you, and we will continue on doing our service with you.
Absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
We've personally used Arnell Feed for probably about 45 years in altogether, but they've just been great. The guys that deliver the feed and stack the hay and dump the bags and, put up with all of our nonsense, the exchanges of feed and everything else, and then they, every once in a while, sell baby chicks, and of course, all of us flock down there to get new babies, but they've been a great business to our community for many, many years.
One of our workers, he's been with us for 36 years since he started, like work and everything. So he's still with us, Raphael.
Even through knee surgery.
He's still going. He's like my dad. He takes the licking and keeps on ticking.
I know. Great people. Anyway, thank you very much,
Thank
and
you so much.
congratulations. Thank you, Alicia. I love family-owned businesses. Okay, our next award, Mayor's Home Beautification Award for May 2023. I'd like to call up Frank and Karen Kagawa. They live at 13428 Netsley Place, and I've known them for a long, long time. First, I'd like to present you with our lapel pins, one for each of you. Pin set, one for each. We have a certificate that reads, "Thank you for your continued improvement and maintenance of your home, resulting in a substantial contribution to the overall appearance of the community." And there's a picture of their beautiful, well-kept home, absolutely phenomenal. And then we also have the coveted yard sign. And this can go in your front yard to let all of your neighbors know that you won the May 2023 award. Now, would you like to say a few?
Well, first of all, we were really excited and shocked about this. We have lived in Chino going on almost 47 years. And I remember Dave when he was a young man. So, and I remember you too when
Inland Community Church with Pastor Ralph.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so we were very thankful to this, and it's amazing how long we've stayed there, because in our first 7 years of marriage, we moved every place.
Really?
A lot of places.
8 times.
8 times in 7 years?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
And then so we said, okay, we'll stay here for 5. So 5 is
That's what he
24.
said. I knew I was going to stay here. This is where my parents were.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
But-
anyway,
Yeah.
this reward just shocked us because we don't do anything to our
Well,
yard.
it's nice. but
Yeah, it's
nice.
just neat.
Yes, it's
but
very
it
neat,
doesn't
and we
have any
appreciate
colorful
that.
flowers. So anyway, we were shocked.
Well, we appreciate how you keep your house up in the neighborhood, and it improves all of our lives. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
now she's going to take a picture.
Okay, thank you.
City Manager Wright, do we have any additions or revisions in our agenda?
No changes, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. We have a legislative update within our packet. You're welcome to go online to read that. It has some very interesting information. Under public announcements, Chino Bike Day is coming up. First, make sure you come out to the Chino Bike Day on Saturday, May 13th from 7:30 to 11 a.m. at Ayala Park, located at 5575 Edison Avenue. This is a free event that allows participants to enjoy a 15-mile community bike ride, a bicycle safety workshop, and a 2-mile family bike ride. Refreshments and raffles will also be provided throughout the morning. For all questions, please contact the Carolyn Owens Community Center at 909-334-3258. Also, on Monday, May 15th, the Chino Youth Museum will host a spring bingo bash at Brenderson Hall, located at 5410 Edison Avenue. Doors will open at 5:15 with dinner at 5:30 and bingo at 6:30. Registration to this event is available at the Chino Youth Museum, located at 13191 6th Street, the Chino Senior Center, located at 13170 Central Avenue, and the Neighborhood Activity Center, located at 5201 D Street. Tickets are $30 per person and $25 for individuals 55 years and older. For more information, please call 909-334-3258. Additionally, join us on Saturday, May 6th at the Chino Community Building located at 5443 B Street, and Saturday, May 13th at the Preserve Community Center located at 15800 Main Street for a community open house. Both events will give our community members the opportunity to come together and help plan Chino's future as we collectively proceed with the Chino General Plan update. A barbecue lunch, photo booths, and coloring stations will be available. For all questions, please email Mike Hitz at mhitz@cityofchino.org or call 909-334-3253. Lastly, please note that Chino City Hall will be closed on Monday, May 29th in observation of Memorial Day. City Hall will reopen the following day, Tuesday, May 30th, at its regular operating hours of 7:30 to 5:30. We encourage everyone to come out to the American Legion Post 299 Memorial Day event on Monday, May 29th at 10 o'clock at the Community Building located at 5443 B Street. This is a great event that allows all of us to honor those who have given the ultimate sacrifice in service to their country. For more information, please call 909-334-3258. Next, under public comments, this is the time and the place for the general public to address the council on issues that are not elsewhere on the agenda. Our first written request to speak is Dustin Harrison from Calvary Chapel, Chino Valley. Dustin's going to lead us in an invocation, so I invite all of those who would like to join us to please stand.
Before I pray, remind note, this Thursday is National Day of Prayer, and we'll be out on the lawn praying, so if anybody would like to join us at noon, it would be a blessing.
With music.
Yes. Join me as I pray. Lord, I thank you for our mayor. I thank you for our city council and our staff. I thank you for our first responders. I thank you for this beautiful city that, Lord, you've allowed myself to live in for nearly 40 years. Lord, what a blessing it is to serve our community. And Lord, I pray that you would give our council wisdom and discernment. I pray that you would guide and direct their hearts and their lives, their families. And Lord, tonight I pray that as they govern, Lord, you would lead their decisions. And Lord, we lift them to you now, and we lift this community to you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Dustin. Next written request to speak is Melissa Campani from Supervisor Hagman's office. Melissa?
Well, good evening, Mayor Ulloa, council members, staff, and of course, community members. I do have a couple of announcements from Supervisor Hagman that I'm happy to share with you tonight. And the first one, of course, is backed by popular demand, very popular event, Supervisor Hagman's document shredding event. This is in partnership with the City of Chino, and I gotta tell you, this is probably our busiest location for shredding. We know the citizens of Chino are gathering those materials now as we speak to save them up to bring them here for safety purposes. And this event will be on Saturday, June the 3rd from 9 a.m. to noon or until the truck reaches capacity. So we do encourage you to come early on in the day. I wouldn't say that you need to get there at 7 or 8 a.m. and wait, but don't linger until noon. And that location is going to be right here in Chino, here at Chino City Hall, right out in the parking lot here. I do have a map if you'd like to take a look at the direction of traffic so that you can get in a timely fashion. This event is free. There is no charge for our San Bernardino County residents. Let's see, I had some more important information. I do. If you would like to pre-register at sbcshredding060323.eventbrite.com, it is very helpful so that we can get the line moving and things moving along. So that's our first event we hope to see you at. And our next event is going to be later in the week on Wednesday, June the 7th. Supervisor Kurt Hagman will be hosting an open house. It's going to be very nice. He's invited many different county departments. I know that sometimes community members aren't real familiar with some of the county departments and what their function is and how they operate, or perhaps they have questions. So they're actually going to come out, and we're going to have different booths in front of Supervisor Hagman's office. We'll be closing the street, and we will be having some food, some nibbles provided by the Chino Valley Professional Firefighters. So we're happy to have them. And let me give you the address and the time. So that's Wednesday, June the 7th from 5 to 7 p.m. at Supervisor Hagman's district office. The address is 14010 City Center Drive, and that is in Chino Hills. Once again, this is a free event. We do ask if you have a moment to please RSVP so that we have enough food available, and that is supervisorhagman.eventbrite.com. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Melissa. Next written request to speak is Julia Cabrera from Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Good evening, Mayor and council members and city staff. My name is Julia Cabrera. I'm the Community Engagement Director representing the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce, and here are just a few updates from our program, Upscale Chino Valley. In workforce development, on May 24th, we will be hosting a job fair in collaboration with the County of San Bernardino. This will be at the Chino Hills Community Center from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. On June 6th, at the Ontario Convention Center, we will also be hosting a job fair in collaboration with the county as well. Timing for that is still to be determined. In economic development this month, we will be hosting an innovation roundtable rounding up our logistics organizations here in the Chino Valley. That will be hosted at our office in the Chino Valley Chamber on May 24th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. In entrepreneurship development this month, we hosted a goal-setting workshop with 30 students from Buena Vista High School. We also are partnering with Don Lugo in a collaboration to begin their high school transition learning program. We'll be helping some students transition out of high school and into the workforce. And in Chino High School, a few select students will be selected to be part of our Student Pathway Internship Program to have internships in Chino Valley Medical Center. And then lastly, and for our group, we have a group called the Chino Valley Next Gen. We'll be hosting a workshop for Chaffey College students and budding entrepreneurs on May 18th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's a business ideation workshop, so we're providing an ideation session on ideation. They'll be able to identify a community issue or any sort of issue that they identify within their own community, and then we'll be following it up with free business resources available to them from the county to begin their business. And then last but not least, we'd like to announce a new staff member, Judith Helper, who has joined the Chino Valley Chamber team at a part-time capacity as Executive Director of Corporate Programming. Her career spans from nonprofit and for-profit entities. She has a business psychology background and a corporate background in marketing, communications, and sales. She's also a licensed marriage and clinical therapist and was brought to the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce through ZEB to help launch and chair our Chino Valley Leadership Collaborative. Judith Helper will be our 9th staff member on the Chino Valley Chamber team, and we are very excited to have her on our team to support our economic and workforce development. Those are all my announcements. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. So those are on the written requests I have to speak. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address the council on an item that's not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we have a tradition here, and that is when there are students in the audience, we require them to come up, give us your name, the school you attend, the class you're attending, and your teacher. Come on. And we do have officers here in case you don't want to get up.
All right, so I'm Vincent Maravilla, and I go to Ontario Christian, and I'm a senior, and this is for my government class.
And your teacher name?
Mr. Zaidama.
Thank you very much.
My name is Andrew Westra, and I am also a senior, and I also have Mr. Zaidama. I have a request.
Sure. Maybe, yes.
Dave's Hot Chicken is a very popular chicken spot, and I think Chino would be a great place to have it.
Dave's Hot Chicken?
Yes.
Where are they located?
The closest one is at the Ontario Mills, and I think having one in Chino would be great for the community.
Well, you know what? We will ask our economic development team to look into that. Thank you very much for
Thank
the
you.
suggestion.
My name is Harrison Cornell. I'm a senior. I'm also in Mr. Zaidama's government class.
Thank you for being here.
And we appreciate your attire, Harrison.
Yes.
As well.
It's
And-
quite colorful.
And Gage as well. I see him back there. He's got his work vest on.
Hi, I'm Adriana Mansour. I go to the same school, Ontario Christian. I have Mr. Zaidama. And what was it called? A request?
Teacher's name, your class, and your school.
Yeah, but is it called a request or is it a different name? Never mind. Yeah, okay. I request there to be a Lebanese Middle Eastern club. And we should join together and have a club to get to know each other. That's it. Thank you.
My name is Gage Messick. I'm also a senior, and I'm part of Mr. Zaidama's class.
Well, thank you very much for being here. Colorful.
Hi, guys. My name is Mia Madrano, and I'm also part of the same class in school.
Thank you.
I'm Allison Shim, and I'm part of the same class.
My name is Jacob Ponce, and I'm part of the same class.
Well, you guys are getting off easy.
My name is Reagan LaForest, and I'm in the exact same class.
My name's Bethany Wagner. I'm also in the same class.
Okay. Now, is there anybody else that chickened out? Did everybody come? Okay, come on. They'll rat you out.
Oh, sorry. I'm McKenna Rear, and I'm also in the same class.
Okay.
Charlotte Gallagher, also in the same class.
Well, thank you all for being here. It's a pleasure having you, and I hope you get to learn some stuff. Okay, we'll move on to the consent calendar. Do any council members wish to have any items pulled for discussion? Okay, seeing none, then I would entertain a motion in a second. Motion from Councilman Flores, second from Councilman Lucio. And the consent calendar passes unanimously. First item or our only item under public hearings, item number 16, Community Development Block Grant, CDBG 2023-24 one-year action plan. This item is to conduct a public hearing and approve the 2023-24 one-year action plan for the Community Development Block Grant Program. I'd like to declare the public hearing open and ask for a staff report from our Senior Management Analyst, Tracy Smith.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Staff presents the 23-24 one-year CDBG action plan, which identifies the recommended uses of HUD funds in the amount of $537,317. Exhibit 1 displays the funding recommendations, broken down by categories. This year, there were 7 public service applicants. Each project was recommended for funding based on prioritization by the Community Service Commission CDBG Subcommittee. This was after a comprehensive review process. The funding recommendations include Human Services Family Counseling for $11,381, Family Services Association, $13,228, House of Ruth Services, $11,380. Inland Valley Hope Partners, $10,000. Public Works Graffiti Abatement, $10,000. Chino Neighborhood House, $13,228. And Inland Fair Housing, Landlord-Tenant Mediation, $11,380. Exhibit 1 also includes new capital improvement project funding in the amount of $349,256 and identifies current projects that will have carryover funds. This public hearing fulfills HUD's citizen participation requirements. There were no comments received during the 30-day public review period of March 6th through April 6th. Staff recommends that council conduct this public hearing, receive any comments, and approve the 22-23 action plan to be submitted to HUD. This concludes my report. Should there be any questions?
Thank you, Tracy. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council on item number 16? Okay, seeing none, close the public hearing, turn it over to council comments. Any comments or questions? Chris?
Just a comment. I'm just happy to see that, again, Chino Neighborhood House is, is up here, and that's being, recommended. We just went to an open house for them, so I'm excited, for, again, the work they're doing down there, and it's great to see them in here. And for the alley improvement project, that's going to specifically benefit the downtown area, and I'm excited to see that as well. So thank you, guys.
Any other comments or questions? I would entertain a motion in a second. Motion from Councilman Flores, second from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock, and the item passes unanimously. Okay. Item number 17 under new business, final acceptance of public improvement track map number 20008, Lennar Homes of California Incorporated. This item is to accept the public improvements for Lennar Homes of California Incorporated, TM 20008, located north of Bickmore Avenue, east of Meadow House Avenue, and west of Rincon Meadows Avenue, as complete and authorize release of the performance bond and initiate the warranty bond. Ask for a staff report from Jesus Plasencia, our Assistant City Engineer.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. On November 13th, 2017, the Planning Commission conditionally approved tentative track map 20008, submitted by Lennar Homes of California, to construct 106 detached single-family homes and 94 attached residential homes on 20.6 acres of land located north of Bickmore Avenue, east of Meadowhouse Avenue, and west of Rincon Meadows Avenue in the preserve. The conditions of approval require public improvements along Bickmore Avenue and the in-track streets, which necessitated the execution of a subdivision improvement agreement and the posting of securities to guarantee the construction of public improvements. The public improvements include curb and gutter, sidewalk, curb ramps, street pavement, street lights, and wet utilities, such as domestic water, sewer, and storm drain. The subdivision improvement agreement was approved by the City Council on February 5th, 2019, and the final track map was later approved by the City Council on March 19, 2019. Lennar Homes submitted public improvement plans in various stages for this project, beginning in the first quarter of 2018, with other sets of plans being submitted in the fourth quarter of 2018 and the second quarter of 2019. These improvement plans were approved by city staff starting in the fourth quarter of 2018, going all the way through to January of 2020. Lennar began construction in October of 2018 and obtained building permits from the city starting from May 2019 through May of 2021. The public improvements associated with the project were completed by the end of 2021. City staff then subsequently prepared a punch list of pending items that had to be addressed prior to the project being closed out. These pending items included addressing accessibility issues associated with certain curb ramps and sidewalk panels that were installed as part of the project. Both Lennar Homes and the city staff then coordinated throughout the course of 2022 to address pending punch list items, including the reconstruction of the non-compliant curb ramps and sidewalk. City staff has determined that the public improvements are now complete and comply with all the applicable city standards and accessibility requirements. The developer has also paid all project-related fees and has provided the city with security for a one-year warranty period to ensure the correction of any defects found during the warranty period. In addition, some of the required improvements are master plan facilities and are included in the city's development impact fee program. Therefore, Lennar is eligible for DIF credit and reimbursement for the construction of these improvements in accordance with the municipal code. The city engineer will be reviewing supporting documentation, including as-built drawings, to determine the actual verified costs that will be eligible for reimbursement under the DIF program. It's possible some of the improvements are either greater or less than the cost estimate that was included in the DIF program. If that's the case, city staff intends to include the updated costs for the improvements in the next annual DIF program update. And that concludes my report. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jesus. Are there any questions from the audience? Questions or comments from council? Chris?
Yeah, just one question. Here in the staff report, right, it reads, security for a 1-year warranty period has been submitted. Under the warranty bond obligation, the developer will correct any defects found within 1 year of the city council's acceptance. What is our process, and, you know, and are we proactive in looking for any defects, or, I mean, just what is typically our process in, finding defects in these types of projects?
Right, so what we would do normally is before the end of the warranty period, we would have our city inspectors review all the public improvements and verify if there's been any defects. And of course, if anything comes up during that 1 year period of time that's, like if we receive any kind of notification from like the general public about some sort of defect, let's say like a street light may be out, then that would be the responsibility of Lennar to address, because it'd be considered a defect.
Karen?
Thank you, Mayor. This has been a challenging process for some of these final acceptance of these public improvements and to several of these track maps. I just want to thank staff for working through it, number one. Number two, I'd like to apologize to some residents in our community. Some of these conflicts have caused us to not be able to go in and do things like cap their streets or different improvements that I think have been hard on their neighborhoods and their quality of life down there. Jesus, I know that you mentioned in your report that a lot of these things have been done, obviously to, you know, what we believe our satisfaction is, but I also know that it's been a challenge for us to work through these. We've actually accepted some in negotiation with these developers just to actually get this work completed so we can do things like cap people's streets. So those are my comments. It's been a challenge. Some of these things that's been, you know, difficult for us, but I'm happy to see us working through it. Do we know how many more of these are coming our way anytime soon? Of these, what we would call outstanding projects to accept final improvements on that are very old? Do you have an idea by any chance?
It's about 8, I think.
8 more?
Yeah.
So hopefully, if there's still outstanding projects out there and you're wondering when your streets will be capped or different improvements will be completed, hopefully now that we've done that, they're on their way. And again, I just want to thank staff for working through it and make sure our residents know we're working to bring these to a final resolution for them.
Okay, any other comments or questions? Okay, without any other comment, then I would entertain a motion and a second to approve item number 17. There's a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock, second from Councilmember Lucio, and the item does pass unanimously. Item number 18, sale of stored groundwater reserves to the Fontana Water Company, Cucamonga Valley Water District, and Niagara Bottling Company. Staff report this evening will be provided by our Utilities Engineering and Operation Manager, Dave Crosley.
And as he's getting ready, Madam Mayor, members of the council, there was a handout that was provided to the whole council. It is available to any member of the public that has a complete set of the contract that is proposed to be considered. There were a couple missing pages from the packet.
Okay, and that would be found online if the public wishes to have access to it?
Yes, it will.
Yes,
I'm
okay.
told by your clerk. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Dave.
Good evening, Mayor Ulloa and members of the City Council. Each year, staff evaluates the city's water supply entitlements to make certain there is ample supply to fully satisfy water customer demands for the foreseeable future. The results of this year's analysis indicated the city has groundwater production reserves in an amount surplus to its current and projected needs. Also this year, the city was contacted by 3 other local groundwater producers who expressed interest in acquiring some of the city's surplus reserves. Those other producers are the Fontana Water Company, the Niagara Bottling Company, and the Cucamonga Valley Water District. The city has directly or indirectly provided groundwater reserves to all 3 of these local water producers in previous years. The total amount of groundwater production reserve requested by these 3 water producers is 21,500 acre-feet. Staff's analysis of the city's supply entitlements indicates a sale of 21,500 acre-feet of groundwater reserves will not adversely impact the city's ability to meet its anticipated future needs. All groundwater production sales transactions must be approved by the Chino Basin Water Master to ensure that production of the groundwater by the purchaser would not cause adverse impact to the groundwater basin. And the proposed sales to the 3 water producers have been reviewed and approved by the Chino Basin Water Master. A sale of 21,500 acre-feet of groundwater reserves this year would yield a revenue of $13,742,800, which would be available to fund master planned water supply projects needed to enhance the reliability of future water supply. Therefore, it is staff's recommendation that the City Council approve a sale of 10,000, 7,500, and 4,000 acre-feet from the city's excess carryover stored groundwater reserves to the Fontana Water Company, the Cucamonga Valley Water District, and Niagara Bottling Company, respectively, and authorize the city manager or her designee to prepare and execute the requisite documentation to complete the transactions. That completes my report, and I'd be happy to respond to any questions.
Thank you very much, Dave. Are there any comments or questions from the audience? Seeing none, comments or questions from the council? Okay. We periodically sell some of our excess water that helps fund our treatment plants and very valuable critical infrastructure that we need. The sale of this water absolutely does not put our community in any kind of danger or harm or shortage. We have done, through our excellent staff, an excellent job of managing our groundwater basin and have many, many, many tens of thousands of acre-feet extra water that we now can leverage and use to fund some of our major projects that are required for water treatment and infrastructure that we otherwise would have to go to the public and ask for funding. So we've managed an asset in an excellent manner. We have put our public in absolutely no danger. We have many, 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 many years of excess water that we are very fortunate to have. So thank you for doing an excellent job, Dave, and bringing this to us and helping to fund our critically needed treatment plants.
Thank you,
Thank
Mayor.
you very much. And with that, I would entertain a motion in a second. Motion from Councilman Lucio, second from Councilman Burton. Item passes unanimously. Item number 19, approve construction contract increase storm drain rehab FY 21-22 Mountain Avenue at Chino Avenue. Approve a construction contract change order to Bondeman Water Incorporated for $277,160. Staff report this evening is from our principal engineer, Michelle Henderson.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the City Council. In June 2022, the city awarded a contract to Bondeman Water, Inc. in the amount of $1,196,690 and authorized expenditures of up to $119,669 for construction contingencies for the Storm Drain Improvement Project SD 223. This project consists of 125 linear feet of a master plan storm drain in Chino Avenue from Mountain Avenue to Bunker Hill Place. The project will also make improvements to eliminate the cross gutter in the roadway in order to provide smoother driving through the intersection. Contract change order number 2 is presented to compensate the contractor for installation of 10 additional water crossings in conflict with the storm drain alignment and required extra shoring to install the additional water crossings that were not accounted for in the original bid. Contract change order number 2 also includes compensation for installation of an additional 12 feet of 30-inch reinforced concrete storm drain pipe. The increased length is a result from shifting the manhole serving the new storm drain lateral due to unforeseen underground utility interference. It's also worth noting that due to significant underground utility congestion within the work limits, the project will need to be split into 2 phases. Phase 1 will include approximately 90% of the project underground work, which has been completed, and Phase 1 will also include the roadway grading to eliminate the dip in the intersection. The contractor will need to demobilize while the interfering utilities are relocated by the appropriate parties and will then return to complete the remaining underground work and surface improvements as part of Phase 2. Staff is recommending approval of this contract change order number 2 with Bonadaman Water, Inc. in the amount of $277,160 plus contingency of $119,669 for an amount to not exceed contract amount of $1,522,519. There are sufficient funds in the SD 223 project budget for the fiscal year 2022-23. This concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you very much, Michelle. For the public's information, where exactly is this located?
It's Mountain Avenue at Chino Avenue.
Okay, and the north part of Chino Avenue?
It is
Where that real bad dip is?
it's where the dip is as you're crossing Mountain Avenue going eastbound on Chino,
Northbound.
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 Yes.
So this will take care of that horrible dip that we all dread going over. Terrific. Are there any comments or questions from the audience? I see a thumbs up. That's good. Any comments or questions from the council? Curtis?
I live in that area. That's in District 2. This is a project that is overdue, in my opinion. The dip that everybody is referring to is a horrible dip. We can't wait for that to be eliminated from that area. I have knowledge of some traffic collisions that have occurred there as a result of that, as well as cars that have catapulted themselves and basically ridden across a wall and ended up in somebody's backyard near their swimming pool. And it's just a horrible setup. It's about time that we got that done. I would also like to mention that the construction crew that's out there, they're doing a great job. During the day, their traffic cone, the patterns that are out there are very efficient. There's no doubt as to where you're going to be going and where you won't go. And then at the end of the day, you never even know that there's been any construction going on other than the plates that are down on the ground. But they clean up really nice. But we're all really excited to get that completed. The sooner the better. And again, I know for the residents that live right there in that immediate area will be happy as well because they won't hear cars in the middle of the night suddenly skidding out of control as a result of hitting that dip and other issues. But thank you very much for your report.
Yes, sir. You have a comment? Come up to the, yes, please.
It's not related to that dip in particular, but since we're on the subject of dips, and I'm here actually with my son who's here learning about civics. So this is just by sheer coincidence. On the intersection of Norton and Philadelphia, there's a chapel. On that particular intersection, there are 2 dips, and we experience the same exact problem, especially on the eastern side of Philadelphia. They've repaved it, restriped it, and if you go and look at it today, all that paint's been scraped off. There are car parts continually falling to the sides of the road. We've seen many vehicles go airborne. Just walking my dog, I do that every night. It happens almost like clockwork. And that dip right there either has two signs on either side when you're moving westbound or eastbound, but the eastbound side on Philly is hidden at night by trees. I've called the city numerous times, asked them to put a beacon to do something, because at night, that's when it especially happens.
Well, thank you for your input, and we'll ask
Thank you.
Public Works to please look into that. Okay, any other comments, questions?
The only question I have is, when do you foresee that the work is going to be completed?
So you'll notice in the next couple of weeks, the work to improve the dip in the road should be completed. And the utility relocation work will take several months. So we're looking for the project to be completed, probably looking into next year as far as the full completion. Due to the relocation of the utilities, it may take some time.
Okay, so the dip will be gone in a couple of weeks, so you guys will just be working on the underground? Oh, okay.
Yes, Kurt.
And I apologize, I should have asked this initially. I know that there was some concern of a neighbor that lived out there, and I believe he lives near the corner of the intersection. Do we reach out, make contact with him to address all of his concerns?
I can find out and get back to you on that.
We're in a tree, I believe.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, then I would entertain a motion in a second to get this project underway. Motion from Councilman Lucio, second from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock, and it passes unanimously. Item number 20, contract amendment, All-American Asphalt for slurry seal maintenance work. This is to approve a contract amendment to All-American in the amount of $1,200,000. Report once again will be by our principal engineer, Michelle Henderson.
Good evening again, Madam Mayor and members of the City Council. In May 2020, the city awarded a contract to All-American Asphalt of Corona for slurry seal maintenance work at various locations throughout the city. City Council approved a contract term of 3 years beginning July 1, 2020, with the option to extend for 2 additional 1-year periods. In fiscal year 21-22, the Public Works Department began slurry seal maintenance work and localized patch and pothole repairs on Pipeline Avenue, Chino Avenue, and Schaefer Avenue. The slurry work on these streets were completed in fiscal year 2022-23. Slurry work in fiscal year 2022-23 has also been planned for Ramona Avenue and streets in a total of 7 residential neighborhoods. Staff is estimating $1,200,000 to complete this work. A map identifying the areas that I just mentioned is presented before you. The initial contract and contract amendments for fiscal years 2020, 2021, 2021-2022, and 2022-2023 totaled $4,476,262. Staff is recommending approval of this amendment with All-American Asphalt in the amount of $1,200,000 for a total contract amount not to exceed $5,676,262. There are sufficient funds in the fiscal year 2022 local street rehabilitation project for this amount. This concludes my report, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Michelle. Any comments or questions from the audience? Comments or questions from the council? Karen.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank staff for this project. Actually, the work has come out nice over there. I do know we did some signal modification work over there as well at Roswell, and that is coming together nicely. Dr. Reich, some of this also is in regards to a concern about the intersection that exists at East End and Schaefer. I know that staff has been talking about a project down there. It's not necessarily related to this report, but some of the work we did down there was also to mitigate those concerns, but I do know we have hopefully a review of a capital improvement project down there. Could you please provide us with an update at one point when we're ready to do so?
Yes, we will.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other comments or questions? I'd entertain a motion in a second. Motion from Councilman Lucio, second from Councilman Burton. Item passes unanimously. Now, before we get on to mayor and council reports, I understand that one more student has come in.
He's sitting right there, behind the lady with the blonde hair.
So you are required to come up and give us your name, school that you attend, the class you're attending, and your teacher's name.
Yes, hello, I am Julian Espinosa. You've already met my father. I am here from Mr. Zaidama's class from Ontario Christian High School for AP Government.
Thank you very much for being here. Okay, next on our agenda is mayor and council reports. And what we do is we report our activities since the last council meeting. So I start. Wednesday, April 18th, I attended the Omnitrans Plans and Program Committee meeting. Thursday, April 20th, Councilmember Burton and I attended the League of California Cities Inland Empire Division meeting that was held at Yamava Resort and Casino. The state budget concerns and pending troublesome legislation was discussed at length. Friday, April 21st, again, Councilman Burton and school board members Shaw and Cruz, school and city staff and I met to discuss items of mutual concern like school resource officers and Chino High street construction. Saturday, April 22nd, I attended the amazingly successful 21st Kiwanis Corn Feed Car Show and Cruise. Over 1,100 vehicles participated, and they guesstimated that 10,000 people attended. It was the biggest show yet. Of course, they had vintage cars, big rigs, tractors, motorcycles, antique engines. Where else would you go to find such a combination of displays? We even had hay trucks. I thought that was really cool. Many thanks to our city staff and all those who do such an amazing job of setting up, keeping things really clean, and of course cleaning up and putting everything away afterwards. And thanks to all the sponsors, the Kiwanis Club and other clubs that participated, and of course, a huge thank you to Walt Pocock, who is the father of this wonderful car show. But I have to tell you, I was disappointed in our local newspaper because the biggest car show ever, the story was on page 3. Good heavens. I mean, come on. Then Wednesday, April 26th, I reviewed the state of the city with our staff. Thursday, April 27th, along with Councilmember Chris Flores and Natalie Avila and many other people from cities and local water agencies, we attended a Metropolitan Water District and Inland Empire Utilities Agency sponsored tour of Diamond Valley Lake and associated pumping plants to learn about their massive capital improvement projects that'll take place in the next several years to ensure water reliability throughout this region. That evening, along with council members Flores and Burton, attended the ribbon cutting for the newly acquired neighborhood house building. It's where they've been located for many years, but through fundraising and perseverance, they were able to finally purchase the building. So many thanks to all the people and organizations that donated their time, their money, and their resources to make this happen. Friday, April 28th, Councilmember Burton and I attended the Southern California Water Coalition quarterly Board of Directors meeting and luncheon that was held at Wilson Creek Winery down in Temecula. Susan Kennedy, Executive Chair of Cadiz Incorporated, spoke about climate resiliency and how challenges and innovation in energy will impact water systems and provide opportunities for partnerships. Saturday, April 29th, Councilmembers Burton, Councilmember Flores, and I attended the opening ceremonies of the Corporate Challenge, which was held at Ayala Park. Yesterday, Monday the 1st, I attended a special meeting at the Water Facilities Agency. And then Councilmember Burton and I met with attorneys Gutierrez and Lamelli, City Manager Reich, Dave Crosley, Natalie Avila to review past and current legal issues surrounding our water rights, water storage, and possible future threats. Then I attended a Chino de Salter Authority Finance Committee meeting. After that, I attended a Zoom meeting with several of the Confire partners for an update on the proposal to take over ambulance service in the county, and that was a very good report. Then I attended last night the Rancho del Chino Rotary Club's bingo night. That was fun. And today, prior to this meeting, in the afternoon, or in the morning, Councilmember Flores and I met with staff for a preliminary budget review of our current fiscal year and for the next 2 fiscal years, and then had my one-on-one with City Manager Reich, and before this meeting, we had closed session. Okay, that's it for me. Mayor Pro Tem Comstock.
Thank you, Mayor. Mine will be quite a bit shorter. Actually, on the 21st of April, I attended and participated in my State of the City filming. On the 22nd, I also attended the largest yet annual corn feed run with my father. It was a great day to see so many people here in City Hall and so many cars. I believe the number was 1,146 and maybe a few that snuck in on top of that. On the 24th and the 1st, on both of these respective, April 24th and May 1st, on both of these respective days, I attended my one-on-one with the city manager. As well as this afternoon at 4 o'clock, I attended an Infrastructure and Streets Committee meeting here at City Hall, along with Councilmember Lucio, and then, of course, our closed session meeting, which brings me also to our meeting tonight. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Burton.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. On the 20th, I attended the California League of Cities meeting with the mayor at Yamava, as she mentioned. On the 21st, with the mayor, we met with members of the school board, President Shaw, and Member Cruz, as well as Dr. Enfield and Dr. Reich. I want you to know that we really, really appreciate the partnership that we're building now. It's nice to open the lines of communication with our school board. Everybody is very open to what's going on and what's best for our community, and that's very, very refreshing. So thank you very much, President Shaw, who is in the audience this evening. On the 22nd, I attended the corn feed run. Council Member Flores and I got there very, very early. I think, what was it, 5 o'clock in the morning we were there?
4:45.
4:45 in the morning. We were there to assist the Kiwanis Club, and we directed traffic all morning long as those 1,100 or nearly 1,200 vehicles came in. It was amazing. It was really, we had a front row seat to watch them all come in, and what an incredible event. We really appreciate it, and congratulations to our Kiwanis Club. Chief, you guys did a great job. The 24th, I had my one-on-one with the city manager, and I met with our city staff, Dave Crosley and Natalie Avila, in reference to a water meeting. I'm going through Water 101 with our city to really try to understand our water. And it's very, very complicated, ladies and gentlemen. It's just not about turning on the tap and having the water come out. Our water rights and the Chino Basin desalter and where our water comes from and who is responsible for what. There's a lot to it, and I'm really, really trying to catch up to the mayor and understand what's behind it. But I appreciate the time that Dave and Natalie gave me. Thank you very much. Community Services Tour on the 25th. The 27th, I attended our economic development meeting with Councilmember Lucio and our staff. Later in the evening, the Chino Neighborhood House ribbon cutting. On the 28th, I attended the Southern California Water Coalition with the mayor. And on the 29th, the Corporate Challenge. And then on May 1st, a water meeting with our attorney, our mayor, and staff, my one-on-one with the city manager, and I also attended the bingo from the Rotary Club. Deputy Chief Menson is here. He's part of the Rotary Club. What a great event. The place was jam-packed. I didn't win, but I sure had a lot of fun. So that concludes my report.
And I have to tell you, it was the funniest thing. He kept saying, I can't find the N because the number on the cards covered up the N. They'd call N number, and he goes, I can't find the N. Oh, my gosh. It was fun. It was really fun.
I still don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
That's just beyond me.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, Lordy. I know people. No more bingo. He couldn't find the N. Councilmember Flores.
Hey, Kurt, I know exactly what she's talking about. On the 22nd of April, I attended the annual Corn Feed Run car show and cruise. Had a great time there, and pretty simple for me. Kurt did have to report around 5 in the morning, but I just woke up, walked out my door, and I was at work already, right on 7th Street. On the 25th of April, I attended the mosquito and vector control meeting. Later that evening or afternoon, I had my one-on-one with the city manager. 27th of April, as the mayor mentioned, we attended the Metropolitan Water District tour, and pretty sweet tour. Kurt, I'm sorry you couldn't make it, but I highly recommend you, attend that, sooner than later. Later that evening, I attended the Chino Neighborhood House ribbon cutting and mixer, and again, congratulations to Kevin Cisneros and the entire team out there. On the 28th of April, I attended the Knights of Columbus annual golf tournament. Had a pretty good game out there, so I was excited about that. On the 29th of April, I attended the corporate ceremony the corporate challenge opening ceremonies. Really great event. And this Saturday, some of the Chino Police Department and I are going to be playing softball, part of the ceremony, so I'm excited for that. Let's see. Later that afternoon, I attended the Chino girls fast pitch games. It was the last games of their season. They're starting playoffs today, so it was pretty fun to be at that event and share some raffle prizes with different community members and parents and players alike. Yesterday, as the mayor mentioned, I attended the Bingo de Mayo Rancho del Chino Rotary event. Pretty sweet. I didn't win a game, but I did win a raffle prize, and I won a free golf game over at the golf course, so that's pretty sweet. And I just want to address our young students here in the crowd tonight. I got to tell you, you guys are in the best times of your life right now. Thank you guys for coming out. You guys are an inspiration to all of us up here, and I'm happy nobody chickened out. I'm happy nobody chickened out. And with that being said, I just want to say that concludes my comments. Thank you.
Councilman Lucio.
Hi, mine's going to be significantly shorter. On the 19th, I attended a meeting with Ben Cardenas from Cabrera Capital. We talked a little bit about different things that they do to finance and fund different projects within different cities. One of the things that he spoke to us about was some low-income housing and how they put together different investment groups to get that funded and get that going. So I thought that was interesting. I forwarded the contact information over to the city manager so that she can sit down and have a conversation with him as well. He's really interested in doing stuff here in the city of Chino. On the 22nd, I attended the Corn Feed Run. Now as I've gotten older, I really love the American muscle cars, so I really enjoyed that. I mean, there's no greater display of muscle cars than our car show that we have here. I mean, they have some amazing cars out there. Unfortunately, I had my little guys that were more concerned with playing on the swings behind the old fire station, but it was a good time. I mean, the amount of people that were out there, just everybody was enjoying themselves. So it was a great event. On the 27th, I attended an economic development subcommittee meeting. The high points of that is we're really trying to see what we can do to entice businesses to come here to the city of Chino and how we can streamline some of the issues that sometimes we come across. So it was exciting to see that's something that we're really looking at and really investing some time to get us all on the right page so that we can obviously bring in some much needed sales tax revenue here into the city. On the 1st, I attended my meeting with the city manager, and on the 2nd, I attended an infrastructure streets committee meeting. And I will have to say for Ms. Shaw, the president, and some of the residents there in College Park, looks like we're finally going to go in the direction of building a intersection at Fern and Eucalyptus, which is the safest thing that we can do, especially for our elderly population that crosses the street to get to the park that's on the south side. And what I want to end with is Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. My mom's great. She's always been a great influence on my life. Even so, she had more of a stronger personality than my father, so I'd have to say that my mother really was the controlling factor in our family. So mothers, my hat's off to you. My wife is another just extremely important mother, and just her talents, they're phenomenal. The way she can multitask a lot better than I can. But to all you mothers out there, Happy Mother's Day, and I'll just end with that.
Okay. City Manager Reich.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council. I have a few items tonight. I know that a couple of you have mentioned the Mayor's Day of the City, which will be held on May 10th. It's a Wednesday night. This is going to be our first evening event at 5 o'clock at the Chaffey College Chino Community Center. So if you'd like tickets, they're $45, and you can get them through the chamber. So don't miss that event. It's going to be pretty fantastic this year for our first evening event. Also, on May 11th, the mayor and councilmember Burton are going to collect an award for the city from the APA, which is the American Planning Association, which we received for our Civic Center Master Plan. So I want to thank the staff who worked on that. It was 2.5 long years working on that plan. So it was our Nick Liguri, Carolyn Baltzer, and Vivian Castro. So that was a long process. We had a lot of committees, a lot of community input on that plan, so we're really happy to accept that award. Also, many of you have mentioned Corporate Challenge. So for our residents who don't know what Corporate Challenge is, it's a 2-week Olympic-style event where we invite our businesses in town to participate with us as the City of Chino team, which includes all of our employees. And it's a really fun event, and we've got a few medals coming in. Of course, we are very eager to beat our partners over in Chino Hills. And I have seen Ben a couple times. He's the city manager over there, and he hates us during these 2 weeks. So we have to be very cordial with him. But thanks to the Community Services Department for putting that on. I'm not sure what year we're in, but it's over probably 25 years of Corporate Challenge. And it's really a great way for our employees to get to know our businesses in town, get to know those employees, and to help them do their business in town and really cooperate with them. So I'm sure in our next meeting on the 16th, we'll be finished, right? Hopefully we'll come back with the trophy for City of Chino, because we have not won it in a few years. So we're looking forward to that. And then lastly, we talked about a few meetings ago our construction portal. It is finished, and I've invited our Assistant City Manager Jackie Melendez up here. She's going to walk us through the portal, and so you can see how it works. But just a little bit of information. This is our way of being more transparent with the projects that are going on in our city. Not just projects that we as the city have in our capital improvement plan, but ones that are being conducted by developers or projects that are being conducted outside of our community, like the 9171, that impact our residents, how they travel through our city. So I want to thank the staff. They have been working on this for the last month and a half to get this ready. We're rolling it out to our community. I think we pass these around in the audience. There's a QR code. Please sign up for our construction portal. You'll also get information that'll come to you in an email. And as you're driving through our city, it will help you to know where activity is going on and places to avoid. So I'll turn it over to Jackie, and she'll walk you through the portal.
Thank you, City Manager Reich, Mayor and City Council. What you have before you is a construction portal. It is www.cityofchino.org/construction, or CP for construction portal. What you have in here is a highlight of some of the major projects in the city. We didn't put all the projects because that would be a very, very long website. What we have here is staff got together and took a look at what are some of the major projects that we think folks really want to be able to access, things that are highly visible. We had a whole criteria of what constituted a major project. If you see a major project or a project that is major in your mind, but it's not here, please let us know. We'd love to add it and consider it for a major project. If you don't see it, there's also a button that I'll show you in just a second that has some of the other project items. So the major projects section here is these buttons. You have Euclid Business Center, and then we also put in parens the common name, so that people might refer to that as Bickmore. The town center at the preserve, people might think of that as Pine Avenue. So we try to make it pretty intuitive. If you click on the area here, and as I'm driving, the little half-sheet flyer that you have has a QR code. You can go there. If you scan that QR code, it will open up a portal for you to sign up for construction management updates. We put information up there pretty regularly. What I'll do is I'll come in and just randomly come into Town Center at the Preserve, Pine Avenue. And so what that will do is, let's see, it will... Okay, so it's going a little crazy up here. Let's try this one over here. So what it's doing is running all over. because it's the slides. That's why it's not the live website, which I'm trying to do. So what we have, actually, can we go to the live website? Yeah, thank you. So as she pulls up the live website so I can show you, I'll just give you up on the top there. 1 second. Staff prepared really nice slides, but I'd rather show you the actual website in live time. All right. Is that it? Okay, so thank you very much. So you'll see that's the pop-up there. If you put in your email, you will get construction updates from us. You can opt out at any time. Can you click X on that, please, for me? And if you scroll up a little bit, or scroll down, I can do it now. Thank you very much. Okay, so here on this left-hand side, you have some of our major projects, and then you also have them as bubbles, so you have them in two ways. You see that they're sort of interactive as they jump around, so I'll show you Town Center at the Preserve. And really what this is meant to do is to provide just a little bit of information about the project. They have a photo, they have the name, they have a simple project description talking about the major points of the project. Thank you to our staff in Development Services and Public Works and Administration Department for helping to put all of this information together and in one place. We have location. Most of the stuff is not going to change all that much. Most of the changes will come in the form of the updates, so that's why we highly encourage everybody to sign up for those. We will add to this as needed. If something is done, we have a completed section, and then we'll add additional projects in the future as they come up. We've added some project schedules and milestones, some update information here, details. All of the pages for the various projects have similar information. If there's a phase, we try to put information about phases. If there's something in there that you want to see, or if you have any questions, we also have the contact information. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible. If you see something or have a question about a project, then you're able to find out exactly who's working on that project. We are putting documents, if there were public notices or anything like that, we're putting that in this space as well. And then additional photos. One of the things that we want to do is really document before and after photos and during photos, so those things are all here. So I'll scroll back up. Does anybody have any questions? I can take a pause. Okay. And let's see. And so we can hit the back button, and that'll take us back to our portal. I won't go into the other ones, but so we have Merrill, Central Avenue Bridge, the Edison Avenue widening project, and then Spectrum pavement. We have other projects that might be, there's some projects in here that maybe the city is not the lead agency on the project, but it might be something that folks are interested in knowing more about, so we try to be intuitive about that. Again, the stay tuned buttons here, really trying to get folks to look at, to sign up for information. We also have a couple of other buttons that we thought were of importance to the public. One is the sign up for the newsletter. Current road closures, that's something that we post on our website, and staff really monitors to make sure that that's up to date. If you want to report a concern, a pothole, or any of the other things, a dip, as our concerned father earlier talked to us about, you could do that here as well. And then again, signing up for emergency text alerts via Chino Notify, that's a little bit different. So one is the newsletter is construction, and emergency alerts are things that you'll get text messages from our staff. So this is a map that we have all of the various information on. You can click on the little icons and learn more about it and zoom in. And I think that completes our information for tonight. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Any questions or comments? Awesome. Thank you.
Wonderful. I'll end by just saying that this is the first phase of this. We will be adding and thinking about ways to enhance this as we hear from the public and council and staff about ways to improve the way that we get information out to the public.
Okay, I understand there was someone in the public. Come up here.
Thank thank you for that walkthrough of the website. I'm really curious where the concerns go to, how they get funneled and triaged and prioritized.
What was your name?
She's one of our new
Joanna
planning commissioners.
Chavez. Yeah.
Yep, just for the record, thank you. Joanna, thank you. One of the things that we really wanted to do is make sure that folks have, people that are asking questions have the most direct information as possible. So that's why each page has the staff person. But if you didn't know, or if you never saw our construction portal, if people are, any member of the community were to call City Hall, they'd get directed to the right place. Also, I have my business cards, so if you want to call me, I'll make sure that they get to the right place. But what we do is we're trying to get people directed as quickly as possible so that they have information from the folks that are actually working on those projects. But if people call the city's main line, or if they enter their information as an email, we'll make sure, when we do have staff in all the departments, that appropriately direct messages, emails, and all of that, and try to get back to people in a timely manner. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much, Jackie.
Thank you.
Anything else, Linda?
No, that's it, Mayor. Thank you.
City Attorney Galante.
Thank you, Mayor. No report tonight.
Okay. Police Chief Simmons.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the council. I also want to take this opportunity to thank the Fruing family who was here earlier, who's being recognized for the McCullough Center. The Fruing family is also responsible for building and putting up the flagpole and memorial for Russ Miller on Schaefer Avenue. They did that 2 decades ago without any fanfare, just because of their commitment to the community. So we're grateful for them. They've been a long time partners in the city, and I just wanted to recognize them for that. And as we talk about Russ Miller, as we know, he was killed by a drunk driver, and we take that very seriously in the city of Chino. And this past weekend, we did a DUI checkpoint, which was grant funded in the 6300 block of Riverside Drive. And during the course of that checkpoint, we made 2 arrests, one for somebody driving while under the influence of alcohol, and one who was driving under the influence of drugs. Just want to share with the public, there's no excuse for that anymore. There are so many ways to get around. Whether it's through ride sharing or other means, you do not need to drive drunk. But if you do, we will try and get you off the road so you don't hurt or kill anybody. And also, I'm pleased to announce that we had 2 new motor officers who just graduated from motor training. We had 2 vacancies due to promotions. And so Officer Lind and Officer Kaczynski are now our latest motor officers, and you'll see them out there on their motorcycles, making sure our roadways stay safe. I often get comments from members of the community is, Chief, hey, do you have a quota for your officers? and I share with them, I absolutely do not have a quota. They're free to ride as many tickets as they want. So just be prepared. These 2 new officers I know will be very eager to make sure our roadways stay safe. And lastly, I'm gonna take off my police chief hat, and as the president of the Kiwanis Club of Chino, want to thank the city of Chino for the partnership for more than 21 years of bringing the corn feed run here. The Kiwanis Club could not do it without the support of the city of Chino, Public Works, Community Services, everybody who works to put that together. So thank you all.
You're welcome.
That's all I have, unless you have any questions for me.
Was Walt happy about the extra space he got across the street?
He was very happy. Thank you.
They had the army trucks and stuff set up across the
And it looked very good.
It was fantastic. You know, it was amazing too. I guess I noticed the little things, but I mean, Public Work was out there emptying the trash constantly. And so, you know, a lot of times when you go to these kinds of events, you'd see trash cans overflowing and just kind of messy. And our staff is so great. I mean, they just stay up on stuff. Everything's neat, put away. It's just really nice.
And also a shout out to our fire chief and their staff are always there every year, making sure nobody needs any emergency help as well.
Yeah. And they were at bingo last night.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Chief Williams.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I was at bingo as well. I was there early, and I helped set up, but I had to leave a little bit early. So Kiwanis is a great club. It's almost as good as Rancho del Chino. So we were there helping them out with that effort and selling corn. I've had 2 classic cars myself. I'm kind of a tractor guy now. I don't know where that came from, but I like tractors. On a public safety, there was a little discussion about that dip today. I happened to be on that call, and when you've been in this business for 30 years and you see a car leap from its tires to over a 7-foot wall, I think that was a great thing that the council did tonight in wanting to mitigate that. It's a very dangerous area there. So unless I'm not aware of something else that has transpired regarding the ambulances, my understanding is that some information will come out at the end of this week, unless council and the mayor, you know something more than I know. That's my understanding at this point, is that those decisions are going to be made at the end of this week. So we
Thursday, I believe.
Correct, yeah. So we look forward to their decisions and where we go from there. And I think that that's all I have for this evening, unless there's any questions for me.
It was a nice debriefing of the Zoom meeting. There wasn't that many people on it, but it was a good debriefing. Nathan was on it, Nathan Cook.
Well, yeah, my understanding that only city councils were invited to that, or and dignitaries or electeds.
And there was only really 3 mayors. That's all
Yeah.
that was on it, and then a couple of the chiefs.
Right.
But it was information, good information, and I sure am hoping that I don't know how they cannot select this. I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm a little bit biased, but I feel the same way.
Yeah, well, and they gave some background on where AMR had applied on another competition too and lost. So
Yeah.
that was encouraging.
Yeah, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's going to be good. Thanks, Dave.
You got it, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, if there's nothing else to come before us, then we will adjourn to our next regular meeting. Well, it's not actually a regular meeting. It's going to be a workshop that's held on Tuesday, May 9th at 4 o'clock, with our next regular meeting of the City Council be held on Tuesday, May 16th at 6 here in the council chambers, with closed session no sooner than 4 o'clock if we need one. Other than that, we will see you then on May 9th here at 4 o'clock. With that, we are adjourned.